welcome to the Next in Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I'm your host, Chance Pitts, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Guys, so before we get moving, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you get value out of any of the episodes that we share, if you think somebody in your life could benefit from the message that we have been putting out, please make sure you're sharing this podcast with individuals who could receive that benefit. Help the movement grow, help us reach as many people as possible. As always, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's at Next in Line Development on all three platforms. Also, be sure to make sure you're going in and leaving us a rating on Spotify. It's right below the image for the podcast. You can check it out, leave a 5-star or whatever you think we are worth. Guys, so before we get into this topic for today, I would like to start with a little bit of a disclaimer. So, number one, listen to your body and use common sense when working out. Make sure that you're not just talking yourself out of getting exercise done or getting fitness done for today. But if you're hurt, take it easy. Don't hurt yourself any further. Guys, also, I highly encourage you to stretch and work on mobility every single day that you work out. Number 3, remember, I am not a licensed professional trainer. I am not a physical therapist or a fitness advisor of any kind. I am just somebody who has gone through their own physical transformation and had their own experiences on the physical level and seen some success with it. And the last disclaimer: consult your health physician before taking on any program, any physical activity, or anything of the such, just to make sure that you are physically capable and healthy enough for whatever activity you are planning to take on. So now that we have that disclaimer out of the way, guys, I want to talk to you all about a very specific topic today, and that is how to change the way that you look at physical training. Guys, so normal people who have not developed the habits of going to the gym or challenging themselves on a regular basis in a physical way, they often look at physical training as this foreign object. They see it as a no-fly zone, and they try to avoid it at all costs. It's something they're not comfortable with. And there's a whole variety of reasons that people list out and say that they aren't comfortable with physical activity or working on their physical fitness, a few of which are they are happy the way that they are. Another one would be that they believe that they are incapable of turning things around from their current circumstance or position. Number 3, maybe they're embarrassed about what others might think or how others will perceive what they are trying to do, and that they might be the butt of jokes, or they might be frowned upon, or that other people won't believe in the things that they are trying to accomplish. And number 4, maybe they just outright don't know where to start their fitness transformation journey. Guys, so for each one of those, I want to dive in just a little bit to each one and give some explanation and give some experiences I've dealt with on these fronts, because guys, I've been there. Like I've talked about in the past, I have had a pretty substantial physical transformation this past year, losing over 50 pounds, getting myself back into the shape and into the physique that I want to be in. And I'm still working on that. It's still a work in progress that I work on every single day. But guys, for that first reason, I will say, if you are genuinely happy with yourself the way you are, and you've got everything out of life that you want from a physical stance, you are perfectly capable and happy doing what you are doing, then by all means, I applaud you. I appreciate your positivity and your understanding about yourself, and I would encourage you to keep living the life that you want to live and having the experiences that you want to experience. It's very rare that people are 100% comfortable with who they are and where they are in life. That's fantastic. But if you're one of these people that's saying that, but you're truly lying to yourself, then I advise you to take a big step back and look in the mirror. Guys, you've got to decide whether you can truly commit to the changes in lifestyle that it is going to take for you to get better. And maybe that's the reason that you have not done so already, and that you have lied to yourself or been less than truthful with yourself. but you have to decide what you want out of life. And if you want more, you've got to go get it. I had to do this. I had to stop making excuses for myself. I had to realize that I was not getting the things that I wanted out of life, and it was nobody else's fault except for my own. I had to do what Chad Wright talks about whenever he says, take quitting off the table. I had to push myself to new heights and find new means to motivate myself. So if you are genuinely not happy with yourself, it is important to get the truth out there. Don't convince yourself, and don't try to convince others, more importantly, that you are happy, because it's just going to hurt you in the long run. Number 2, if you think that you're too far gone, or you're too old, or that you don't have the time to do the things that you want and make the changes that you want to see in your life, then I challenge you to evaluate your schedule and your time. On the topic of being too old or too far gone, know that everything in the physical fitness realm is scalable. If you can't run, you can walk. If you can't walk, well, then maybe you can move your arms or lift weights or find some other sort of exercise to keep yourself moving and physically fit. And while we're exploring that realm of excuses, one big excuse on the list is that people don't have time to engage in physical activity and work on their physical fitness. Well, I would challenge that by saying, now that we're in 2022, take a look back on 2021 and really think about all the time that you spent doing something that was maybe less than productive or not as beneficial as it could have been. How much time have we all wasted binge watching some series on Netflix? Or the more popular one than that, I know I am guilty of this one, and I have been guilty of this one, especially in the past couple of years. How many hours have we spent watching Yellowstone? The time exists, but your priorities have to be in the right place in order to make it work for you and those around you. Guys, the third one on that list was that maybe you are embarrassed of how you'll look and how others will judge you whenever you're trying to become more physically fit. I understand what it's like to be embarrassed, guys. I understand showing up to the gym and not looking how you want to look, going to the pool, going to the track, wherever you go to get your workout in, and not feeling like you belong there or that you fit in. You immediately start comparing yourself to all the fit people that are around you, and you get somewhat self-conscious. Guys, so number one, whenever you start thinking about that, most of the people that are around you and that you see as very physically fit or at a point in their life where they are proud of their physique, most of those people have been somewhere in the neighborhood of where you are. They had to start somewhere. They didn't just get very fit or very swole overnight. They were likely at a point where they looked in the mirror and they weren't happy with what they saw. They decided that they had to make a change. And so that they went forward and they experienced these same feelings that you had. And now that these people have been in your shoes, they are actually very, very positive people to interact with. They're very humble. They're very happy to help you with whatever you might end up doing. They're super encouraging people whenever you actually take the time to have that conversation with them. And then number two, you cannot worry yourself with the opinions of others. Guys, no matter what you do and no matter where you go, there's going to be some kind of jerk or bully or somebody that is less than polite to you whenever you're trying to accomplish the things you're going to want to accomplish. It happens at work. It happens at the grocery stores. They just try to get inside your head and they try to own space in there, like we talked about in our most previous podcast of letting somebody own space in your mind. It's just a waste whenever you let them get inside your head and start affecting the decisions that you make. So remember to take ownership of what you're doing and don't let those people get inside your head, because it's just going to move you in a negative direction. You've got to take control of your life and the progress that you want to make within it. Guys, the people who matter don't mind, and the people who mind don't matter. Remember that. Number 4, maybe you're one of those people who does not know where to start their fitness journey at. So maybe you're new to fitness and you don't understand how any of this works. Guys, there's a million resources between the internet. You can hop on Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever you use. You can dive on social media. You can dive on several different apps at this point. There's so many different apps and so many people who are wanting to help people just like you move in a positive direction. If you can't find anything that you're looking for within those 4 realms, I highly encourage you to reach out to me. Now remember your disclaimers that we listed up ahead, but guys, I can at least give you recommendations as far as books, places to look for workouts, people to listen to, and just share some of my personal experiences with you and what I did to lose weight, but also get stronger and work on my mental health during the same process. I will be glad to do that, and like I said, you can reach out to me via social media. That's at Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I would love to help y'all. I've helped a few others before. Guys, but just know that anytime you spend standing still and not progressing towards what you want to progress towards, that you are moving backwards. Time doesn't stand still for anybody at all. It's always constantly moving. Your competitors in the competition around you are always moving forward and progressing. So, like I said, if you aren't making progress and you aren't working on yourself, you're moving backwards rather than standing still. Guys, another very important point is make sure that you are seeking information from people who know what they're doing. Guys, I hate seeing people waiting until they have no other option but to get healthy and to turn their lives around. I hate seeing people that have to lose weight or they have to get active because their doctor is telling them that they've got to do that, or they'll end up with diabetes, or they'll have a heart attack, or you're going to be dead by the age of 50. Another example of that is somebody who waits to do physical training or to take advice from somebody on how to strengthen their joints and their muscles until they break something or they tear something and they're out, and then they've just got to get physical therapy so that they can function normally. Imagine what you would be capable of if you used physical therapy, or you used a coach or somebody that knew what they were doing, heck, even did your own research prior to being injured. Imagine how you could prevent injuries and how you could progress and how much further along you might be. Guys, I know we touched very briefly on the topics of having to lose weight for your health. Well, while we're on that, I've done some research into the CDC website on some of the most expensive diseases and most expensive ailments to cure. And I don't think any of us will be surprised to know that 3 of the top 4 most expensive and prevalent diseases that doctors treat every single year are obesity, diabetes, and then combined heart disease and stroke. Now, everyone wants to talk about how big pharmaceutical companies are taking advantage of all of their customers and all of these people who need pills or a prescription to survive on a daily basis. And everybody's upset with how high medical prices are and how out of whack our medical system is, whether you believe in universal health care or privatizing health care or the way we have it now. Everybody seems to be upset with the high cost and the terrible service that always seems to come along with visiting a doctor. So why don't we do something about it? Why don't we start the healthiest boycott of all time and stop paying money into the pocket of all of these pharmaceutical companies and all of these hospitals that fight and control these diseases, and instead give that money to small businesses in the forms of gyms, personal trainers, and fitness lifestyle companies? I think it would be a much better overall investment to invest in your health and make yourself better and avoid even having to get involved with these medical care facilities and these pharmaceutical companies in the first place. We could get ourselves to a point that they would have to make a true change to the whole industry and the way they treat and care for their patients. Guys, I'll hop off my soapbox and get back onto the main topic of what we were talking about. So, if you're overweight and you're looking for a place to start, I would highly recommend strength training. Now, please remember those disclaimers we talked about. But strength training combined with some cardio or endurance style strength training is a fantastic place to start because you burn a ton of calories and you start replacing the fat that you have and the excess fat on your body with muscle. Guys, it's a great way to also build confidence if you're an overweight person, because when you're overweight and when you're having to carry around excess fat, you're also carrying around excess muscle so that your body can move and you can be physically active. So use that strength and use that little bit of confidence you'll get from being stronger and being able to move that weight that you didn't know or you didn't think you'd be able to move, and other people won't expect you to be able to move. Use that foundation to start your situational positivity and build the physique that you want based off of that. And guys, you don't have to hate every single minute of getting in shape. Even for many fit people, or people that you would see as fit if you walked into a gym, many of them think that cardio is torture. They're not good at it. They haven't really trained it that much, and they don't enjoy doing it. And you'll probably find a bunch of commonalities with them once you start working your way into your gym as well. But look at them. Look at the progress they've been able to make by doing things that they enjoy and still working and progressing by not killing themselves on a treadmill day after day. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm not advocating or saying that it's going to feel good every time you get in there and you work out if you go to a strength training regimen or you go to a cardio regimen, whatever you're more comfortable with. Because let's be honest, it's going to suck. It really has to suck. It's all part of the process, guys, but you learn to love it. And you've got to remember that when it's sucking and when it's not fun, you've got yourself into this mess, and the only person that can get you out of it is you. Guys, just know that whenever it does suck, that's not the way it always has to be. This can be a fun thing, and you can enjoy working out and making yourself better. Ways you can do that are if you've got a spouse or a friend or a coworker that enjoys being around you, invite them. If they enjoy working out and being physically active, invite them. If they don't want to go, take your dog. They don't really have a choice in the matter, so get them out there, build your confidence, spend time with them, and enjoy yourself. You've also got to know that this whole process of becoming more physically fit is not going to happen overnight. No one got theirself into the situation of being overweight or in a position that they do not enjoy being in one fell swoop. And it's not going to be 1 day or 2 days or a week or a month that you get yourself right out of this mess. You've got to be patient, and you will start seeing results. And if you want to see astronomical results and you want to make the progress that you are truly hoping to make, then you've got to also implement a diet and a regimen of refueling your body in a positive way that doesn't put garbage that erases all the progress that you're working to make back into your system. Use the same steps that you have used to learn to love working out and learning to love becoming more physically active to learn how to love to eat better and how to change your diet and move in a positive direction. Those are all things and elements that can really jumpstart your progression and make you see some results, guys. And pretty soon your workouts and your health and your diet become something that you have control over. It becomes something you're comfortable talking about and thinking about and discussing with others. You start to enjoy the pain and the soreness and all the hard work that you've got to put in and day out to be better. Because you realize that whenever you're doing these things and whenever you're feeling this soreness and this stress, that you've pushed yourself hard enough to actually make a difference. And you'll start to make friends and recognize people at the places that you go to work out. And you'll become comfortable, and it'll feel like almost a second home to you. And then the things in the beginning that you felt because of a lack of confidence in yourself, they're erased because of the confidence that you've built in yourself from the ground up now, starting with that foundation that you laid for yourself. Then pretty soon you become enamored with the process of getting better. You become addicted to that same process. And if you can keep that up and you can keep positive motion working for yourself, then you'll have no problem reaching the initial goals that you had set for yourself. But then something interesting will happen. Then your goals will change. You'll go from wanting to lose 50 pounds to wanting to get stronger or run faster or put on weight in a healthy way or become more flexible. And then you'll start comparing yourself to other people and how you stack up against them in a healthy way, tapping into that natural competitiveness that we have as human beings, and it'll help you continue to progress and develop. Guys, you don't have to become a gym rat to become healthy. You don't have to become a marathon runner to become healthy. But what you do have to do is form consistent and disciplined habits to work towards your goals. If you can build those two things within your life, then there is nothing that can stop you from doing anything that you want to do. And before you know it, you haven't just changed the way you look at fitness, you've changed the way you look at your entire life. Guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast. Please make sure you're checking us out for daily content on social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Next in Line Development. Also, like I said, please make sure you're sharing this with like-minded individuals and leaving us a rating on Spotify. And always be prepared for whatever is next in line.